Hey. Hey, y'all, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a basketball video. I love basketball still, guys. Don't worry. Today is the day for the March Madness final, the national championship game. It is UConn versus Michigan. I got Michigan. The reason why I got Michigan is because I'm a Duke fan. Fuck UConn. Because we had that game. We had it in. It's the second year in a row where we've blown a 15-plus point lead in the second half of the game and then missed the final. No, we were in the Final Four last year. This year we missed the Final Four because of it. And then last year we missed being in the national championship game because of it. We're too good to be doing this shit, yo. We really are too good to be doing shit like that. But that's not the point at all of this video. First things first, what I want to get into. I just saw this news. It says the Chicago Bulls have dismissed Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations Arturas Karnišovas and GM Mark Eversley. So this is these two in Chicago Bulls lore are basically Hitler and Stalin when it comes to what they've done to their basketball team and the things that they've done that have negatively impacted the squad in general. So if you're a Bulls fan, rejoice. Have a great day. Go on a picnic, have a run, do whatever you want to do because it is one of those days where you're just happy, everything looks beautiful, and the sky is blue. Now, on a real basketball level, the idea of firing them after, I don't know how many years it's been. I believe the Zach LaVine trade and stuff. No, it wasn't the Zach LaVine trade. It was the Vucevic trade. It was the year that Franz Wagner was drafted. So whenever that year was, that was their first year actually being fully into the front office. And I remember at first, a lot of Bulls fans were very excited because Garpax was ass. They were really bad. And the fans were just not, there was real life protests talking about some fire Garpax, all that type of stuff. So to see that, and then they also started to gun for stars, as you saw. They tried to get Vucevic from the Magic at the time. It didn't end up working out because after they got Vucevic, that immediately turned into Franz Wagner, and Franz Wagner is a all-star level player who would be great on the Bulls right now, but they just never had the opportunity to have him because they traded him for somebody who can't play defense and is not a good playoff performer. So as we've seen in his career so far, I don't know how many times Vucevic has been in the playoffs because he played for the Sixers, the fucking Magic, and the Sixers, Magic. Now he plays for the Celtics. So we're going to see how he is on the Celtics. But he played for the Bulls, Sixers, and Magic. He hasn't seen that much playoff time, just like Zach LaVine. And he's... Let me not go on a tangent. Let me be more precise in this video. But... yeah, people early on were very excited about this, new front office, especially after the offseason they had where they were able to acquire DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and I believe some other pieces might have came during that time period. And I think this front office is the one that drafted Patrick Williams. And people, regardless of what they say about him now, people were very excited about Patrick Williams coming into the draft because he had very high potential. He had high upside when it comes to his ability and his measurements, and he had a lot of intangibles, especially when he was at Florida State, but he has not really reached that for other reasons. One of them probably work ethic, another one is opportunity, because ever since he's came into the league, he's had to stand behind somebody else, and that's not something you really want somebody like him to deal with, especially in a culture like what Chicago has. If he was at a place for example, somebody he was compared to a lot, which I believe was really it was unrealistic. It's really hard to get to this type of player's level, but he was compared to Kawhi Leonard a lot. And if you wanted him to get to a Kawhi Leonard level, you either had to put him in a Kawhi Leonard situation where he's on the Spurs behind some of the greatest training staff of all time, some of the greatest players of all time, or you put him on a trash team and let him be trash for 4 years and get the ball every game. Because that's how you develop somebody like him. Because he was from his first day on the court, he's been a project. He has been a high upside project, similar to what Giannis was, similar to what Kawhi was at some point. He just doesn't have the staff that he needs to actually grow and become a good player. And that's not me making excuses for him, because he's a grown ass man. If he wants to be a good player, he could be a good player. He demanded a bag. He demanded $20 million per year, which the Bulls gave him. Has not shown that he deserves it. Let me actually check his numbers for the season, because they're egregious. They're so bad. They're genuinely terrible numbers. And this is from somebody who actually believed in Patrick Williams when he was drafted. I thought it wasn't a bad pick. I wouldn't have picked him myself at that time, but still, it wouldn't have been a bad pick at all. But let me see. Where are they at? He's still on the Bulls. The Bulls, in case you guys didn't know, they're officially eliminated from the playoffs. They had a really bad season, 12th seed in the East. They're just looking on to the draft. If they're able to get a player like, I don't think they're going to get a top 3 pick. If they're able to get a player like Caleb, is his name Caleb Foster? Yo, I'm tripping. It is not Caleb Foster. Damn, I'm so sorry. I know his name. He plays for UNC forward, had a really great season. He was gunning for all the top prospects, and he was doing really well. He was hooping. I just cannot remember his name. Give me 1 second. Like, oh, my God, that's embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look up North Carolina. Oh, my God. North Carolina men. And then Caleb Wilson. If they got somebody like Caleb Wilson, they would be in a really good spot, in my opinion. I think that they would be able to actually make some noise in the next coming years when it comes to not even making the playoffs, just being a really good and like exciting young team, because they have some pieces over there that could be fun if they were actually in a situation of being fun. And I think the Billy Donovan experience is over. He should get fired very soon. All due respect, but I think he should get fired very soon. Let me see the Bulls. Let me go back to Patrick Williams, as I was talking about before. Last game that I'm seeing, let me see. His last game, he dropped 5 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. He is averaging 6.6 points, 2.8 rebounds, 1.3 assists on 37, 34, 68. He's probably the worst player in the league. And I'm not saying that when it comes to skill level. I'm just saying relative to what he is getting paid, relative to what they expect from him, he is horrible. Like, I can't call him anything else. That is terrible numbers for somebody who plays 20 minutes a game. And his minutes have been on a decline recently because he's bad. Like, he's terrible. And I don't know what they're going to do over there, because I don't see a team justifying the idea of, oh, maybe this is an Andrew Wiggins situation where this highly drafted player just needs to change his scenery. Because Andrew Wiggins showed signs, bro. Andrew Wiggins had seasons where he averaged 24 points per game. It was just we didn't like what we were seeing on the court because it wasn't translating to nothing, and it was really inefficient. But when it comes to Patrick Williams, we haven't seen nothing. Like, we have not seen a thing that has, like, we haven't seen a semblance of a good NBA player or even a good role player. And I understand his defensive upside is there. He's a good defender, but he's not a consistent defender. He's not a consistent offensive player. He's not a rebounder. He's not overly athletic that, like, it actually makes a difference on the court. So what is he doing? And how are we going to get this $20 million contract off of our books as the Chicago Bulls? That's what the next management has to think of, because Reinsdorf just fired them. We got to see. And I'm kind of excited to see who comes and takes this job, because it's the job of hell. I don't know what you do here. They just traded so many pieces, didn't get a single draft pick, a single first round pick, and got a player who is under psychosis, who genuinely needs help. And this is coming from a religious man. He needs help. That is not him being a God-fearing man. That is him being in psychosis. He went on a rant about how much he likes apple pie. He is like, he's asking people if they're, like, this is all I'm going to say about the Jaden Ivey situation. Asking people who they fornicated with, or if they fornicated before marriage, is psychosis, bro. That's like, he needs to see somebody. He needs to get his brain viewed. Like, that's an actual mental issue. That is not something normal that you say to people, ever. Regardless of who you believe or what you believe, you never just walk up to people you don't know. You say, have you ever fornicated before marriage? That's weird. But they traded for somebody like that, and they didn't have any intention of keeping him on the team. They didn't have the intention of keeping him on the team even before all that stuff, because they heard other things through the grapevine within the organization that he was really just weird towards the players, and he's not a good player anymore. Jaden Ivey was another player that I thought had a lot of upside, but he just genuinely never hit that either. I guess you can attribute that really bad injury, and I think that injury might have done really bad things to his psyche, where he couldn't play for a whole year. It was really bad. Who injured him? I think it was Jalen Suggs or somebody like that. Because I was watching the game where he got hurt. It was very, very unfortunate because I do like his game to an extent. I think he's an athletic guard that can be he has a high upside as a rim protector for a guard. He's really athletic. His jump shot was starting to come into play, but then he just lost all that when he went to rehab, and he never could really get back on the court. And also, he was put in a lot of dumb situations. Like, for example, when Monty Williams was the coach and they had him coming off the bench for Killian Hayes, and when it was his second year in the league, that's nonsense. But it doesn't excuse what he's doing right now, and his career is most likely over, to be honest with you, unless he does something wild. Because this is worse than what Kai Jones did. Because Kai Jones didn't really do nothing crazy. He was just like a rapper for a little bit, and he did like crazy Instagram dancing videos and shit. Like, he wasn't really losing his mind, and he's not in the NBA anymore. I'm not saying it because he deserves to be in the NBA, because he's not overly skilled. He's just overly athletic. But you can say the same thing about Jaden Ivey. He's not really overly skilled or overly athletic. And I loved him at Purdue, but he just never hit what he was supposed to hit, man. That's just what it is. The Bulls are in purgatory, though, man. I don't know what you do with this team. Their highest scorer for the last game was, I'm pretty sure this is Tyus Jones. No, this is Trey Jones. Tyus Jones probably still plays for the Suns or the Magic. I don't know. But Trey Jones here is their best player right now. They have Leonard Miller, Colin Sexton. I forgot he was here. And they don't even want him here. He's another player that they want gone by next season. Isaac Okoro, somebody that they got from the Cavs, thinking that he was going to be able to mold into a different level of player, similar to what people might have thought with Patrick Williams, where it's like, oh, put him in a different situation, he could thrive. This is just not a situation where Isaac Okoro can thrive. He's only averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 48, 30. Like, he's not doing anything differently than what he was doing in Cleveland. He's the same player, which isn't going to get him a long career, to be completely honest with you. Colin Sexton's always going to have a job in this league, man. Rob Dillingham, 5 points, 2 assists. I mean, he's had some games since he got traded to the Bulls where he's like, okay, you might actually see some potential there, but also at the end of the day, in this current league, being a tiny-ass guard who can't defend is the biggest glaring issue on most teams. Trae Young was never able to win 43-plus games for the Hawks because he is a little tiny-ass guard who can't defend. There are so many people who are just better than Rob Dillingham who are genuinely not parts of teams because of their size and the fact that they cannot defend. So unless he has a crazy growth spurt, or he goes to Turkey, gets a height surgery, and he's able to hoop at the same level, and then he also becomes buff as shit, plays great defense, he's fried. I'm sorry. He's a fake 6'1". He's 5'11" at most. Genuinely, I think he's small. He's a small guy. He's frail, skinny, he's slender. That is what he is. He's petite. And I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Rob. I'll be honest. When I saw him at Kentucky, I hate Kentucky, but he was hooping. He was a great player. And then I saw him in that, when was it? It was the first round or second round of March Madness when he was shooting 5 for 25. Let me get the numbers up exactly, because this is the game where I started looking at Rob differently, genuinely. Let me see. Rob Dillingham, because he only played 1 year. He averaged 15 points and 4 assists for the Kentucky. Who are they? Kentucky Red. I don't know. What is their name? Wildcats. Kentucky Wildcats. And they had a few NBA players on that team. They had Antonio Reeves, who was an NBA player right now. Reed Shepard, NBA player. DJ Wagner still has not committed or went to the NBA yet. He's still in Arkansas, kind of not doing much. He should have declared after last season. But Justin Edwards is a good player for the Philadelphia 76ers. And Adu Theru, I don't know how to say his name, but he's on the Brooklyn Nets, I believe, right now. So these are all NBA players. And a lot of them followed Calipari after this year. But they lost in the first round to Oakland after being the 3 seed. And Rob Dillingham shot, let me see, 2 for 9, 0 for 3 from 3. He was just he was bad, man. He was genuinely bad. And he was coming off the bench this game. I don't remember why this was happening, but I guess they wanted a different look out there, and it did not work out. I'll tell you that right now. It did not work out. But yeah, Reed Shepard also came off the bench, and he was bad too. I think Reed might have been hurt, though. I think Reed was coming off an injury. Rob was fully healthy, and he did not play well. He was really bad in this game. His ISOs were not working. He was not getting his shots off because Oakland was playing a defense centered around guarding him. Because he was their best player last year. Him and Reed were like one of the best dynamic duos in the backcourt, but they just it was not it, man. I remember this guy, Jack Gonke, I think his name was. Yeah, he was like a senior. That's crazy. As a senior, it's his first year playing college ball for real, and he took Kentucky out of there, dropped 32 points on how many threes? 10 threes. Nasty work. Nasty fucking work, man. Genuinely crazy work. But yeah, the Bulls are in purgatory. I hope this is like a shining light for them getting a new front office, just a new team in general. They cannot run this team back next year. I don't care about what anybody says. You can like Josh Giddey as a player, terrible defender. I like Matas. Matas is one of the things that they hit on because I don't even know if he was a lotto pick, but the fact that Matas is to the level that he is right now is great to see. He's one of the better players. He's probably their best player. He's averaging 16.5, good efficiency. His three-point shooting is actually having a rise, which is something that was like his biggest question from me specifically. I did not know if he would be able to become a good three-point shooter. So seeing that he is a good three-point shooter is really cool to see because like that was the one piece of the puzzle that wasn't fully there yet. But yeah, some other news before I end this video, y'all. The Warriors just got back Stephen Curry, and we lost in the game to the Houston Rockets. So first things first, I've seen a lot of people saying the obvious thing, which is 3 players yesterday that are over the age of 35 dropped over 28 points. Curry had 29, Kevin Durant had 31, and I believe Bron had a good bit. Bron had 39 and 15. So 3 people who are like a lot of people's childhoods, a lot of people's favorite players are showing that you can still be highly effective at an older age. And I'm not here to like dick ride or none, but Curry only played 26 minutes. KD played 37 and LeBron played 39, and they lost to the Mavericks, which makes sense. Cooper Flag is a fucking dog. 45, 8 and 9, 2 steals and a block. That's a dog right there. Oh my goodness. Stop playing with Coop. Stop playing with my boy Coop. Oh my God. He's the rookie of the year. I understand that my boy over there is having a great season. Shout out to him. You know what I love to see? 2 Duke alumni going at it for rookie of the year. Love to see it. You just love to see that type of stuff. But I have to give it to Cooper. I just do. I understand that the impact that my boy has for the Charlotte Hornets, like, Khan, he's been great for the Charlotte Hornets, and he's actually like kind of led them to being a playoff team, because without Khan, they would not be in the situation they're in right now where they're actually in the play-in, because this team sucks. The Hornets last year sucked, and now they're a fun team to watch. And it's like, I love saying this, it's crazy to see a team that was so like ass. And nobody in this seat, like nobody thought coming into this year, the addition of Khan Canupa would lead them to being like a fucking good team. Like they are like a actual team that people want to see. Like I want to see them in the playoffs because of how much I enjoy watching them play basketball. I'd rather see them in the playoffs than the Heat and the Magic. I'm gonna be real, because the Magic suck, the Heat suck, and the Raptors. I like the Raptors. I feel like they started off the season really hot, but then they started to slow down a bit. But now they're middled out, and I like that. I like when teams just like find their spot fully. But yeah, it's Cooper. But back to what I was talking about. Another thing that we heard about with the Rockets and Warriors game was late in the game, there was a lot of calls that were not going the way of the Warriors, which is expected from me. I'm not saying this in a way that's like, oh, like I'm biased, so obviously we don't get the amount of calls we want, but it's like a known thing around the league. For some reason, Stephen Curry doesn't have a superstar whistle, and he's never had one for his entire career. I can look up his most field goals attempted per season, and it would be genuinely shocking. Like, you wouldn't understand why it's so low. Let's see. I think the highest year he might have had for free throws was 21. Let me see. Free throws attempted, the highest, it was 2020, 2021. He shot 6.3 free throws. That is the most he has ever averaged. Right now, he is averaging 5.2. This is not, obviously, he didn't play most of the season. I'm surprised he came back. I'm happy he came back because I love Steph Curry, obviously. But I'm surprised he came back at the end of the day, because if I was him, I probably wouldn't have came back. This team isn't worth coming back for, I'll be honest. But yeah, seeing somebody who's such a great prolific free throw shooter only get around 5 a game, 6 a game, and you can say, oh, he shoots a lot of 3-pointers, so obviously he's not going to get free throws. He gets fouled in those 3-pointers a lot of the time. That's just me saying that from watching a lot of games. But also, on another hand, regardless to that, he drives. He's not just shooting 3-pointers all day. He also drives to the paint, and he's also one of the most like off-ball fouled players of all. Like the way that they guard Stephen Curry off the ball is insane. They just grab him, like they genuinely just grab him, and nobody calls anything, which is fine because he's still dropping 35. But if he's able to get those calls, it would change a lot of games. Like yesterday. I mean, he had a lot of opportunities to get free throws in a game that we only lost by 1 point. In that situation, we're only down 1 point at this time. Like, if he gets those free throws, hypothetically, we win this game. And I understand it changes the whole flow of the game if he gets the free throws, but that's not really the point. The point is that he doesn't have the same whistle as his counterparts or any other players in the league, and it's confusing to see. I'm happy he's back, though. I hope to see a lot of good performances by him, especially when it comes to the play-in tournament, because we're in the play-in. We're locked in for the play-in. If we weren't, I would have genuinely preferred if he did not play, because I'd rather just have a higher odds to get a good pick. I'm not going to lie. But I'm excited to see what's next. I just want to come in and say what's up to y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.